Let's switch these. Kind of, sort of. So I count it though.
Okay.
All right. What's the last one? It is 40%. Yeah, it's the highest percentage out of the four, actually. What's up, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? Hair care services.
Okay.
All right. So you got scientific concepts, 35%. Hair care services is 40%. So just between them two, that's 75% of your questions. Right? So if we said out of 110, these are weighted, that's about 75 to 80 questions going to be dealing with hair care services, going to be dealing with scientific concepts. Okay. But implements and equipment is 10%. And what did you call it? Men's facial services. So let's amend that a little bit. So that's part of it, but let's broaden the scope. So you got facial hair and skin care services. Okay. So massage and things like that will be included in facial hair and skin care services.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, a lot of people think the massage stuff is in the scientific concepts. That is incorrect. Another funny thing is they think a lot of the chemistry stuff is just scientific concepts, and that's not true. Some of the chemistry stuff is in hair care services as well. So a lot of times in the chemistry, that's why you see I approach the chemistry section a certain way, because some of it bleed into hair care services and scientific concepts. Okay. Especially when we talk about like endothermic, exothermic reactions, all this stuff. But that's the one you're currently looking at?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what you got right there. And you can read from the book as much as you want to.
Yeah. So it says when certain chemicals react, releasing energy in the form of heat, it is called exothermic reaction.
That is correct.
So basically, what I remember out of that is that it actually, to cause it to react, one of them calls it that the action of it is like inward and the other one is out.
Right.
Correct?
That's correct. There we go. Okay. That's correct. So I always go, well, first of all, thermic just means heat, right? Okay. So I always think about an exothermic, the heat is radiating out.
Right.
Hence the term exo, right? Which is like outside. Yeah. Every time, dude, have you not noticed that? Every time I go live, my phone has not rung since you got here, right? You've been here how long today so far? 15, 20 minutes? Ain't wrong. As soon as I go live, I don't know. I be thinking people are watching my live and be like, yeah, I'm just going to call him just to fuck with him. But anyway. So, yeah. So exothermic reaction is heat radiating outward, right? All right. When you do, let's say you are doing color. All right. When you are at the stage where you are lightening the hair, you are lifting. If you ever notice, people put like say somebody got long hair and you're gonna dye it blonde. You notice they put the foil on, right? Okay. The heat is radiating outward. And it's coming from body heat. And it's radiating outward. Now they'll put it in the foil because the foil traps that heat in a certain way, but it's not coming from the outside into the hair. It's radiating from the body heat and radiating outward. That's an exothermic reaction. Okay. Endothermic, they say in the book, I always use this example. Now you can find certain things that have an endothermic reaction, like a chemical wave, maybe. I want to say a chemical wave is like an endothermic, but just think about ice melting, right? Because the heat it's hitting the ice. So since it's hitting the ice, what does the ice do? It melts. So the melting is the actual reaction. Okay. The cause of the action is the heat. That's why they call it an endothermic. But all it just means is heat coming from outside, or heat coming outside inward,
Yeah.
or the opposite way.
So using those words exit and inward. One
Yeah.
is taking it in, one of them is exiting it out.
Period.
And they use
Yeah. And thermic just means heat.
Gotcha.
So they might ask you a certain question. They might ask that question maybe three ways.
Okay.
Right? Like they might literally just say, what's an example of an exothermic reaction? Or they might even ask that, and then you come back to the same question, and then they say, all of the above are examples of an exothermic reaction, except what? Right? So all you got to do is to get to your answer choices is just know the terminology. Okay. A lot of times the chemical stuff, it either comes down to the terminology. That's where people trip up, or you literally just are not familiar with the concept.
Right.
Now that part comes down to you got to do some studying. Okay. Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? Is that Chelsea? What's going on? Good morning. Happy Friday. All that good stuff. So while you do that, let me add to that. So you're in the chemistry section, right?
Yeah, just came out.
Okay. So check this out. Hey Peaches, what's up? So scientific concepts. You got 5 points of contact: infection control, anatomy, physiology, signs, symptoms, disorders, conditions related to skin, all of that stuff related to hair. And then the fifth point of contact, basic chemistry of products used in barbering. Okay. So understanding chemical reactions, that's where the endothermic, exothermic. So anything that falls under that, if you're looking for that as well, that's a key point to be studying. Meaning things like overexposure, chemical burn, in inhalation. But I haven't seen too much stuff in the book that just covers those.
Okay.
And then I haven't seen too many things that's like high percentage that's covering overexposure, chemical burn, inhalation. Okay. Understand interactions among chemicals. So, okay, dealing with solvents, solutes, things like that. Now, that will make a lot of sense. Let's see. Understand purpose and effects of products, ingredients, and their interactions. So, shampoos, conditioners, what other ingredients? What other ingredients and products? Them the main ones. Maybe a little bit about tonics and um, antiseptics, maybe. And then understand the chemical pH scale, which we've talked about.
So let me ask you something. So
Go ahead.
in terms of the dry scalp, right? Since it's got ranges in there, is those ranges meant to kind of balance out somebody got dry scalp? I know we got
Yes. You talk about the pH scale?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's part of it.
Okay.
That's part of it. Another part is, okay, what's the texture of hair?
Okay.
What's the density of the hair?
Right.
What's the other one we talked about? Porosity.
That's right.
Now, what is porosity based on our conversation yesterday?
The absorbing
That's right.
Liquids.
Moisture.
Yeah,
Moisture. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Only because they may again, I don't want you to miss a question just because of terminology.
Yeah.
And there's no scientific proof to this,
Yeah.
but my theory is they try to ask questions in a way to trip you up.
Right.
I don't know if they do for sure or not, but I think they do. That's just how I feel about it. What's going on? What's up? Hey, hey, how you doing? So yeah, just keep that in mind. Where you at now?
So this looks like I'm in chapter 8, based on electricity right now.
Okay.
It's something that we went over yesterday.
Yep.
Direct current and alternating current.
Alternating current. Do you know what sinusoidal current is?
Heard the
Is it direct current or alternating current?
um, I'm gonna guess with alternate.
You are correct.
Okay.
What is it used for? Even though it's technically not in the chemistry chat, it really sinusoidal current. I don't remember even being in that version of the book. I remember it being in the older versions.
Okay. So what was your question?
What is sinusoidal current used for?
Uh, no, no.
So, sinusoidal current radiates in like it looked like a pipe with like a small glass bulb at the end, and they rub it across your face. What is that used for? What would that be for? Mm-hmm. And then they got bigger bulbs that, like, say if you go to a spa or something like that,
Yeah.
or if it's like a rehabilitation clinic or something like that, even sports and athletes and things like that. Nurse Janelle, what's going on? Thank you for joining my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, if y'all are not following Nurse Janelle, go follow her like right now. Love her content. It's used for muscles.
I was about to say like massaging because I think it produced some type of heat, maybe.
Well, more like stimulation for muscles.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's in I don't know why that's not in that book. It's in the old book. It's in the older, you remember the red book? That's like 3 editions ago.
Okay.
It don't make no sense. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Okay. Where you at now?
Let's see. It's talking about amps now.
Yeah, so a bunch of electricity, like 98% of the electricity chapter, you ain't gonna see it. Low percentage. Really just knowing the units, like the amp, the volt, but they talk more about the amp. Yeah. Now alternating direct current is like a real life percentage thing. I love talking about alternating and direct current because that immediately affects us as barbers, right? So if you got corded clippers, that's alternating current. It's an interrupted flow. It goes back and forth between the power that's coming from the socket to the motor of the clipper, right? Okay. Direct current comes from the power associated with the batteries to the motor. Okay. And matter of fact, yeah, yes, you can. And that's why I still, to this day, everybody asks me about trimmers. My favorite trimmers have always been the corded Andes T Edger outliners. Still to this day. And my biggest thing is it's got alternating current. It feels like the motor is stronger, and also it's corded, so it's that constant flow. But also alternating current has what type of reaction? A mechanical or chemical reaction?
The alternating current.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It produces this type of action within corded clippers.
alternating mechanical.
You are correct.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have cordless clippers, you have to charge them, right? What are you charging? The batteries. Batteries produce what kind of action? Mechanical or chemical?
I remember that in the question. That's why.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now, you might not see that, but that's something to really keep with you in real life. Because when you're testing out all these different clippers, these are some of the things that you're going to be asking. Like, all right, well, do I like this one more? Do I like this one more? Because Andy's came out with a version of the how a lot of us barbers was modifying and sawing off the top. If you notice, they came out with a cordless trimmer that's got the golden blade on it. They're black and they got a gold blade on it. I like them. I still don't like them as much as the corded. Even though you got the cord, you can plug it in too. It's cordless, but you can plug it in too, and that turns the direct current into alternating current. But it still don't feel the same. They're really good though. They're really good. Yeah. Herb, what's up? What's up, Betsy? Happy Friday, y'all. If y'all are not following my friends, go follow them, please. L Perp 5. Look, she is at 5.0. She upgrades every time. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't be getting gifts like that. I get gifts, but not like that. They blessing your boy today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I didn't even know I had some members. Oh, Perp, when I get back on your channel, I'm blessing you today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, what you got next?
What about the epidermis and the dermis?
Okay. Let's talk about it. Which one you want to talk about first?
Let's do the epidermis.
Okay, so epidermis is the outside layer of the skin. It's the thinnest layer. Okay. The dermis is 25 times thicker. 25. Think about that. Okay. Now, within the epidermis has 5 layers of strata. Okay. Some studies will just give you 4, but I'd rather just give you all 5 because one of them is kind of like it's considered part of one of the layers. Okay. So, corneum, lucidum, granulosum, spinosum, germinativum. Germinativum is the closest one to the dermis. The stratum corneum is the outermost. That's the part that when you look at it, like if you're looking at my hand, that's what we're seeing. When you're looking at my face, that's what you're seeing. Okay. All right. Now, a key thing to know about the dermis, innermost, 25 times thicker, 2 layers, papillary reticular. Okay. Papillary layer got the melanin in it. The reticular layer has all the good stuff. So when people are asking, hey, what can I put on my hair to make it do this? Not a damn thing, because all the shit that happens with hair growth is underneath the dermis or within the dermis. Okay. So I want you to find all the things that's in the reticular layer of the dermis. And it should be on the next page. I'll see what page you're looking at.
Fat cells, sweat glands, blood vessels, hair follicles, oil glands, lip glands, and something pillar muscles.
Erector pili. Okay. Now, all of that stuff is in the dermal layer. Okay. And you're looking at that projector right there, right? My goal for that projector is, well, I got to replace the bulb, is to take that picture and put it up on that screen right there. So one day we can just sit down and really go through all of these different things. All of this stuff is in the dermal layer. So meaning it's underneath. So you can't put nothing on the corneum layer of the epidermis to try to get a reaction that needs to happen in the epidermis. Okay, so when you got things like blood vessels and erector pili muscles and sebaceous glands and all that stuff, how do you stimulate those? Since it's underneath,
I would say health,
that's right.
diet,
That's right. Hydration,
hydration,
eating right,
right,
exercising,
right,
all the stuff we don't want to hear.
right.
That type of stuff is going to help you more than, oh, well, I got this product that says it's going to make this happen and make that happen. Right?
Yeah. So
That's all.
certain things will be temporary, basically. Like you use a
Yeah.
certain
So
kind of shampoo.
yeah, absolutely. And honestly, that's got more to do with the hair that's already grown out versus something that's
Ah, got you.
underneath your skin
Yeah,
that you're trying to stimulate.
yeah.
You can't really do that with most 99.9% of products. You can't do that with. Now you can say minoxidil, finasteride. Those are the only two products. Didn't we talk about? Was it me and you talk about this
I think
yesterday?
so.
Yeah. So yeah, finasteride and minoxidil. Yeah, that's something that can help. It's been scientifically proven. Magnesium. What else? It ain't no shampoo you're gonna use. This put it like this. There's no shampoo or facial scrub or facial wash or some product that I can put on. Like, I'm 41. I'm never getting this. Okay.
Right,
There's no product that I can put on this, and next thing you know, I got a beard like yours.
right.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So
Sheena, what's up, girl? Happy Friday, Miss Sheena. What you up to? If y'all are not following my girl Sheena, go follow Miss Sheena, 1977. That sounds like a very lucky year. And thank you for liking the live. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, hey, what's up? Style Plus Salon is in the building. Y'all go follow Style Plus Salon too. But yeah, you got any questions about that? Anything on that diagram right there?
no, not on the diagram.
All right.
What it made me think about is I was looking over here, the natural body oil,
Sebum. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
where does this tie into the dermis? Like,
So look at the bottom. Look at the bottom layers where the hair shaft is being produced, right?
yep.
Because the hair shaft extends all the way down where?
Like to the dermis.
Uh-huh.
Papilla.
Exactly. Right?
Yep.
Okay. That's the true hair root.
Okay.
A lot of people will say the hair root, and I understand why they say it,
Yeah.
right? So let's say you're doing a curl. Let's say you got somebody got,
Yeah.
3-4 inches of hair length and they getting a curl, and they say you curl it to the root. What we really saying is you curling it to the base, because where is the true root? In the dermal layer, which is underneath what we can see, right? But sebum is produced there too. So all the nutrients that it's getting is getting from what you just said, the dermal papilla is getting all the nutrients from there. So it's getting blood, it's getting sebum, it's getting anything else it needs to grow and be as strong and healthy as it can be. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So really, if someone's getting that curl that you said, they're only going to the scalp of the hair.
Yeah. But a lot of times we'll say that that's the hair root. Technically, that's not the hair root. Now, for you, that's definitely not the hair root, because when you take that test and they might ask you a question about the hair root and you say that shit right there at the scalp, you're gonna be like, you're gonna get it wrong. Okay. Now, I don't see you as one of those people gonna be like, man, I missed it by 1 point. But I have seen people take the test and they'll be like, man, I only needed to get one more question right. That could have been one of those questions. Okay. So all the gimmies I want you to be able to get. What are y'all Friday plans, y'all? While he finds some more topics we're gonna talk about. Anybody got any Friday plans? I'm gonna be chilling.
So this diagram said going down to the root. I think this will give a good uh, wording for it.
Yeah.
This is it says that this is the hair root, but the true root is down, like you said, to the
Yep.
This would be considered, I guess, it's more considered the hair root. It says,
That's fine.
but it
And
doesn't.
that's fine.
It
That's
doesn't say
fine.
root of the hair.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
says
Yeah.
more.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for liking the live, y'all.
Um, cortex.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. You know, that's one of my favorite subjects with it. So you got the cuticle, cortex, medulla. All right. What can you tell me about those three?
So the cortex is 90%.
Cortex is 90%. Yep. Represents 90% of the hair shaft itself. That's correct.
It said the medulla is the innermost layer of the hair.
That's correct. Yep. What's the outside? What's the outermost layer?
The cuticle.
That's correct.
Understand. Okay. So when it says 90%, explain that a little bit better to me. It's like
Okay.
90% of the hair.
Yeah. So let's say you took a cross section, right?
Yep.
You see how that ring light is?
Right.
Okay. So it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 3 circles.
Yep.
Wouldn't you say?
Okay.
Or 3 parts to it. So you got outside of the circle,
Yep.
you got the white part that's represented in its own circle,
That's right.
and then you got the innermost part, right? Okay. Now, let's say that white part that actually had the white was 90% of that light.
Okay.
And then the middle would be this big.
Okay.
Let's say the middle was this big.
Yeah.
The white part was all of that, and then you got the outside of it.
Right.
That's what we mean.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I mean by 90%.
Right.
So it's not, I guess we would say 90% of the radius, maybe
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you're trying to strip color out, you're trying to get all of that out of the cortex, which also contains the color of the hair too. Okay.
And wasn't one of these areas like transparent or something?
Yes. Which one is it?
It's to the top layer, which would be the cuticle.
Yep. Transparent scale-like cells. It resembles shingles on a roof.
So you're really not seeing the
Cuticle.
okay. You're actually seeing the cortex.
That's right.
This where all the color all the color and everything too.
Yep. Yep. It's like that plastic bag right there where them plates are, right?
Yeah.
Let's say those plates were black. Shoot. Let's say those plates were black. Okay. If you wrap that plastic bag tightly around it, you're gonna see the black.
Right.
So it's not the plastic bag that you're seeing.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be the plates.
Yeah. So
Same thing.
just a question to like how could I explain this? Like you're not seeing that plastic bag, but obviously that layer of plastic is doing something as a protection. You would say so. Certain chemicals damage, I guess, this outer layer, maybe.
So, well, yeah, but to a certain extent because you got scale-like cells,
Okay.
right? Depending on the porosity,
They
it's opened up like vents, like upside down vents, if you want to think about it, upside down shingles or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's if the hair is porous. Now, if it's not porous, then yeah, you're trying to penetrate within those scales and get to that cortex.
So how does that benefit you shaving wise? Because you know how you want the hair to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Put the hot towel on.
Mm-hmm. So, it got more. Porosity ain't got too much to do with that because that's something that's going on with skin, right? Now, we would be talking about if you had, let's say you had an afro, like this, and you was trying to get it all blonde.
Okay.
Well, you need to know how much processing time it's going to take. So if it's porous, it's going to take less time.
Right.
If it's non-porous, it's going to take more time, and you're going to need something stronger to really get up in there. So that's the difference between somebody, if you're doing blonde on somebody. Damn, man, I wish my phone would have went dead, because one of the ladies that was on there was one of my customers that we had did blonde, and her hair was non-porous.
Right.
So even though I used a higher volume, it didn't take. It took longer to take, and so her hair wasn't like a bright kind of yellow. It was more like a deep orange-ish type of color.
I see.
Yeah,
So
but her hair was porous. Now, put it on the flip side with somebody whose hair, her hair was non-porous. Put it on the flip side with somebody whose hair is porous and it absorbs the moisture. It's going to absorb them chemicals faster, so it's going to process faster. So I put the same volume on them, and I mean, it was taken within, like we said, how fast is processing time for that? Immediately. Yes, sir.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if the chemicals don't react, um,
It's not that they're not reacting.
sorry, if it's not as porous,
Yes.
then it could take multiple times, as we was talking about yesterday.
That's when you start talking about things like a double process and all that stuff.
I got you.
Yeah, and that type of thing happens with the consultation. So that's why, if you have, especially, well, you'll see it a lot more. You'll see it as a master hair care barber, but you'll see it a lot more with like cosmetologists and stuff like that. Especially if somebody is new, and you tell them, "Hey, I need you to come in so I can see these things. I need to know these things before I can, I can't just set up an appointment with you on the phone. You need to come in, and I need to see this hair. I need to do a strand test, things like that." Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Oh, that's cool. My man. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Happy Friday, y'all.
So just kind of off the record, or kind of what we talking about a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shaving wise, I heard this in the class, I think.
Okay.
Those two type of blades, the interchangeable blades,
Yeah.
which is the one I use, and then it's the one that you don't
Strap it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is one of them preferred above the other?
The more you get into it, probably so. But at first, no. At first, no. I have my phases, man. Sometimes I like just the regular. Like I've literally had times where I just take the Persona blades. So there's a brand called Persona. Persona, they got the box like this, but the blade is just a blade.
Yes.
Okay, so it only fits certain type of razors. I don't even get the grazer. I might just take the blade itself and just use the blade itself, because it can get into nooks and crevices that it's hard to do.
See.
Yeah. Now you got to be careful with it,
Yeah.
and I'll show you that off the record. But then you got disposable blades that you change all the time. That's currently the blade that I got right now. That's currently the type of razor and the type of razor blade that I got right now. But shout out to my homeboy Mike Foster. He got some blades done. He had got a razor blade done for me. That's just a old school. It's attached, and you sharpen it. You hone it, you strop it. You hone it, you strop it. Right. And that's how you keep it. And I mean, that thing is a monster. I got it up there too. I'll show you the difference. But yeah, I had a certain time I really like using that for like my ball heads. but I didn't like using that. I would use my disposable blades and razor for, like, say if I'm putting a razor on somebody's shape up,
Yes. Yeah, I got you.
right? But it just depends. So like say the way that your beard is now, I might use the old school blade for like all of this area, but up here I might use a disposable blade. Hmm. Yeah, but I go through my phases, man. Sometimes I just pick up something and just be like, all right, yeah, I just need to get it done.
And so I'm thinking of like new blades. Like
Yeah,
I mean, you got a disposable blade, so it's going to be sharp as it could be because it's out straight out of the box, right?
true.
But then you gonna
But it's different. Nah, you ain't got to strap a disposable blade. You ain't got to do all that. You'll know when it's dull.
yeah,
And honestly, I got in, and plus the build of it, like when I show you the ones that I show you, like some of them are really, really thin.
right,
So they're gonna go dull really quick.
yeah,
But I've had some students, they change their blade per client
okay.
with the disposable ones. That's why you'll get that box and it might have like 150 of them in there. You'd be like, man, God dog, why they got 150? Because one blade ain't gonna last you like a month.
Yeah, that's what I use is the disposable. But I just was,
Mm.
I mean, you know how the old
Yeah.
school they got
Listen, if them old schoolers sharpen and hone and strop your blade, man, that thing cut like butter. You get, especially if you get a older gentleman that like that, they want the hot towel, they want the shave, they want the old school shave.
yeah,
You pull that old school blade out, man, that thing ain't nothing to play with.
right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is in the massages right here.
Okay.
We talked about, I guess, one of them with quick, let's see, quick tapping, slapping, hacking movements.
Yeah.
And the
You
one,
need to know all of those.
all of these. Okay. All right. What would we consider as friction then to you? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Petrissage.
petrissage?
So kneading movements. It's almost like you
Okay.
pushing into it,
Okay.
right?
I think the other one's
Okay.
and then I guess vibration.
Cool. Yeah, but all the other ones pretty much self-explanatory except for the flourish. So a flourish is just
Yeah.
that type of thing. Yeah.
T-zone,
Mm-hmm.
forehead, nose, and chin.
Yep. Yep.